Hey guys and girls, this is Psycho Steve, and you're listening to Hair Today, Gone Tomorrow. And I was very fortunate and blessed to have Mr. Johnny D, drummer extraordinaire of 4 projects I'm aware of. You have Wasted. As you guys know, he's also been the drummer of a great band called Britny Fox, which I have featured on my show. And then, of course, you have him in Doro, which I actually still have a childhood crush. He's also in an awesome In Excess tribute band. Let Michael Hutchins rest in peace. His band does them very, very big time justice. So, without further ado, Mr. Johnny D, everybody. Welcome.
Good evening, sir. Thanks for having me.
Well, thank you for joining us. I really appreciate it, and appreciate you for doing it in such short notice. You've been playing for over, with national acts, international acts, because Doro, Britny, and Wasted are all pretty much international acts. Would you confirm that?
Oh, yeah. I pretty much, I left home to go to England, play with Pete Way, when I was, just turned 21 or something like that. So, yeah, it's been quite a while.
Awesome.
So, yeah, my playground is the whole world, kind of.
Now, Pete Way, am I correct? It's Pete Way also had a band called Fastway.
Yes.
Right? Okay.
Pete Way actually started the band, and with Eddie Clark from Motorhead.
Right.
And from what I was led to believe, some things happen with contracts and business bullshit, which tends to get in the way, and then all of a sudden there was he was unable to really continue with the band, so basically he started a band, they came up with the name, and then before they even did the first record, he was out of there, so it's kind of a weird
wow, because I remember
trivia there, but
that's pretty cool, because I remember Fastway doing the soundtrack to Trick or Treat, the movie, featuring Gene Simmons, Mark Price, Ozzy Osbourne. That's actually what inspired me, and I actually own the cowboy hat Gene's wearing in the movie.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm a bit of a Kiss dweeb, so.
Gene produced the Doro album, the self-titled one that was on, I believe, Simmons or Telegram.
Right, because I know she covered one of his songs.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, big time Kiss influence.
Wow.
In the Doro world as well. She loves Kiss and always dug Gene, and was always thrilled to have done that with him. And
nice.
Still keeps in touch with him to this day, which is cool.
Cool. Now, you said your first gig with Wasted, you were 18, moving out of Pennsylvania, because that's where you're from, right? So.
Yeah, I'm from the Philadelphia area.
Cool.
I left this area to go to England, to Wales to audition for Waste, and that was like 85.
Wow.
So I was 22.
Nice.
Not 18, but yeah.
Was there any?
Quite a while ago.
That's pretty awesome. Was there any other well-known drummers that were trying out, or was it like you were there and it was just the band, or was there other people waiting?
It was literally. The gig was mine to have if I showed up and didn't completely tank it. So I was lucky in that sense that I had a great recommendation from my friend Jimmy DeLella, who was already in the band. But I mean, I was coming in after some big-time heavy hitters. They had Andy Parker from UFO. They had Filthy Animal Taylor.
Wow.
From Motorhead in the band for a brief time, and then Jerry Shirley from Humble Pie and Fastway again was the drummer right before I joined. He just did not want to tour or continue with the band, so they basically were looking for a young guy, and I got a recommendation, and in a almost unbelievable way, they actually flew me and my entire drum kit over from America, which I to this day can't even believe that they did, but they did, and I got there and we played together in some shithole farmhouse in North Wales, And luckily, I didn't, blow it, and I ended up getting the gig, and a few months later, we were making a record for EMI, and it was my first introduction to like a real deal music biz. It was awesome.
That's awesome. So did you get part of the advance?
I was a salary hired guy at the time.
Gotcha.
I didn't have any, the advance at that time, probably because Pete Way and Paul Chapman were the big names of the band.
Right.
And it comes from USO. They actually, got the deal. And there was management in place and whatnot. So they hired 3 young American guys and paid us a salary, and just, kind of what transpired from there was just, learning the ropes and getting to do a record and a big tour. And, it was kind of the beginning of everything for us.
Gotcha. So when you did get your first break, besides that, meaning your first advance, what did you buy?
Well, let's see. I probably bought a car.
Nice.
Probably, paid off some debts.
All right.
My parents a few nice things and whatnot, and all the things that you do when you sacrifice, working a job for however many years, or you're, just coming into some money after being completely broke and living at your parents' house.
I hear you.
For simple.
Gotcha. Yeah, because I asked the same.
Yeah.
I asked. That's one of my most common questions I ask, because I'm just curious of like what people, when they come into a decent amount of money. Hey, I just interviewed Desmond Child recently, and he told me because he came from a very poor family, he bought a bunch of really nice clothes.
First of all, it depends on how much of an advance you're talking. The difference between, say, me and a Desmond Child is probably in the, triple figures.
Well, at the time, it was a decent chunk of change. It's, of course, substantially more now.
If you look back on it, it probably equated like, a year's salary for a normal person. But if you're not working and you're just doing music,
right.
And at that time, when people's salaries were still pretty relatively normal, then, it was,
cool.
It was a good amount of money, but it really didn't, wasn't like I was going to, buy an island or anything like that. Literally, it was just basically able to catch up for a couple of years of zero income. So
right on. Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. Speaking of, you said you bought a car. What kind of car do you drive now?
I have a Volkswagen Golf with the diesel.
Awesome.
And I spent a lot of time in Germany, and back when I bought it, it was pretty much a great investment as far as, great on gas, powerful.
Right, the torque on those things are great.
Killer.
So who are your main influences?
Well, I guess as far as drumming goes, some of the earliest stuff, because of my age, would be Buddy Rich, the Beatles, Ringo, of course, Keith Moon, Ian Pace from Deep Purple, John Bonham.
Okay, so we talked about the car thing. What's in your CD player right now?
CD player. I don't even really run one, but I most recently just saw a few shows this week, and saw Michael Schenker Fest on Sunday, so I've been going back and listening to some Schenker, some UFO, some of his solo stuff, and also saw Priest the other night. So I tend to listen to a lot of the stuff that I grew up on.
Nice.
It's the most dearest to my heart, and there's so much stuff even from back then that, you might have missed out on, that I kind of rediscover or find for the first time, or, but I'd say more, a lot of older stuff more than newer, but every once in a while there'll be, some newer stuff to check out.
Cool. Like, what bands do you listen to currently, like new bands?
A lot of the, I like a lot of the stuff that, because of being 50-something, I think the stuff that resonates with me is more the retro stuff, like Rival Sons or
Nice.
some of the bands that are doing some stuff that sounds, sonically modern, but with an older feel to it.
Like Greta Van Fleet. Have you heard?
I hear a lot about them. It's what I've heard sounds, basically really good.
Yeah.
Very Zeppelin, of course, but I don't have that record and I haven't seen them live. But yeah, I know they're getting a lot of traction.
Yeah.
Us old heads. Just because they're, any kids that are playing good old-fashioned rock and roll and making it modern is pretty much a good thing.
Here's another question. Any of your family members musicians?
Oh, man, not really. My sister played piano for a few years before I even got into music. My father was a professional soccer player.
Wow.
In Italy, yeah, and he moved over here. I think he played some violin as a child, but no, nobody really kept it going.
Nice.
Long term like I have. But I have a great nephew now who's jamming on the ukulele and singing, so I think he may be the next musician.
Tiny Tim, move over. Nice. So, in the process of, how did you get the gig with Doro?
Again, that was, it's funny, a couple of the bigger gigs I've gotten in my life have been through the same person. My friend Jimmy DeLella, who I mentioned earlier, who I grew up with, got me an audition with Doro, and that was in 1993. And Doro he mentioned my name. Doro knew me from the Britny Fox stuff. She, because Warlock and Britny were pretty much on MTV at the same time. So she's like, oh yeah, I remember, some of their videos and whatnot. That'd be cool if we could play together. So I went, they arranged an audition, and again, I went down upon a recommendation. There was no other people auditioning or whatever. I just kind of walked in, and if I could, hit it off with everybody and play well enough, I got the gig, and that's what happened. And a couple weeks later, I was in Germany on tour with Doro and doing a live album, and just kind of like back at it, with a whole new set of people, and been pretty fortunate.
Right on.
To have been in her band for 25 years. It's like my 25th year this year.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
I see you guys have a ton of Europe dates and nothing in the United States as of yet.
I think after the new record comes out, we'll definitely want to come back to the States and do some more shows. So I would guess maybe spring of next year.
Awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
So did you have any input on this album or any of the albums besides playing the drums, like writing?
Yeah, a couple. I've had a few small co-writes on a few songs on a few records over the years, but I played on, I'd say, like maybe 80% of this album, and we wrote or worked on a few songs as a band during the summer. Last summer, we were doing, just recording drums and guitars and things for that. But Dora works in a way where she sometimes will just work with her producer, writer, and they may even finish a song completely, and I may record some drums over top of whatever is there already, or we, record from scratch. There's no real, rhyme or reason. It's just kind of like, oh, I'm really into this song, let's work on this one. Or if the band's on a break from touring in the summer, we'll go into a studio for a week and try to knock out a few tunes here and there. So it's not like the typical recording situation of a band that, you know, gets together, writes songs, rehearses them, does some pre-production, goes in the studio, knocks out 10 songs in a row. You know, this
Right.
is more or less like, you know, here and there and everywhere whenever we can get it done, and she's constantly working on stuff,
Cool.
you know, by herself or with whoever happens to be writing. But yeah, the band interjects some songs where they can. You know, the last record had a few co-writes with like Boz Maz, our guitar player, Nick Douglas, you know, Luca, our guitarist, is always throwing riffs in the mix and stuff. So it's a pretty good conglomeration of all kinds of different stuff.
Nice. All right. Now, is she the only one that lives abroad, or I know you and Nick live here?
Right. Doro is, I guess, bi-continental. She's got she's still a U.S. citizen. She's a green card holder, so she has a place in the States, and she probably lives most of the time in Germany.
Okay.
And like I said, our guitarist Boz is Dutch, so he's in the Netherlands, and our guitarist Luca is Italian. He's in Italy, and so yeah, we pretty much have to meet up wherever we start a tour or whatever, and you know, we'll do some rehearsals.
Nice.
And all fly in, you know, to wherever. So yeah, we're international.
Cool. It's like a UN band.
International team, totally. Yeah.
Nice. Alrighty. So here's another question for you. On your downtime, what do you and your family do?
Oh man, I've been pretty much bouncing around a lot lately. I mean, I'm, you know, being a drummer and reliant mostly on, you know, whatever musical situation I'm in or whatever band I'm in. I mean, I'm not like a guy that can roll down to the local pub with an acoustic guitar and, you know, do a performance or whatever. So I'm pretty much reliant on whatever gigs I can get. So that's probably why I tend to not sit around much and multitask a bit. Like you were saying earlier in the intro, I have like 4 projects I'm trying to juggle my time with right now. But if I'm down for, you know, an extended amount of time, I just like to do normal stuff like anybody else, you know, catch up on movies or food or, you know, cooking, or I, you know, want to do things like pastimes. For me, mountain biking, photography. I like to paint a little bit here and there. Yeah,
cool.
Whatever I can do, whenever I can do it. But living out of a suitcase and jumping around on flights and doing gigs here and there, it's pretty tough to get anything.
Gotcha.
Normal, you know, going on.
So you mentioned that you're being Italian and everything like that. Do you speak it?
I do speak some Italian. My language skills are pretty limited because I've never really learned, you know, never studied
right.
grammar and all, you know. So when you're learning anything on your own, it's a little bit like I learned my father's dialect. And the first time I went to Italy and started to speak that in a, you know, in say a big city like Rome, they all looked at me like I had 2 heads, and they answered me in English because they knew that I couldn't speak Italian for shit. So, but I try. I speak a little bit of German. I can get by, you know, ordering food or finding a toilet or whatever, you know.
Nice.
But yeah, I mean, I think I said this to somebody the other day. I know at least one curse word in about 30 different languages. So
Sweet.
I pride myself on that fact.
Okay. Well, I speak 4 languages fluently, so if you need help with any of them,
nice.
You know,
yeah, cool.
Smile and dial. I speak Hebrew, Yiddish, Spanish. My ex-wife says I mumble. She's just hard of hearing. And I speak English. So
there you go.
Yeah.
I haven't even perfected the English language yet.
Yeah,
So.
same here. you know?
Yeah.
So, and, yeah. How about this? So, out of your friends, like, in the music world, do you have, like, musician friends that we know that they could call you and say, hey, guess what? I'm down in South Street having some pats, you know? Why don't you come and join us? Or, you know, like you said, you were at the Michael Schenker show the other night. Do you hang out with any other well-known musicians?
I really would like to, and I try to stay in touch with as many people as I can. The other night, I kind of took a bit of a drive up to Wilkes-Barre, PA, to see, you know, this Black Star Riders, Saxon, Judas Priest show, and I know so many people on that tour, especially the Saxon guys who we've toured with and played so many shows with. Super cool dudes. I got to hang out with them a bit, and I know some of the guys in Black Star Riders, and the Priest dudes are always cool. And whoever comes through Philly, if there's time, you know, I would love to go grab a meal. You know, I know Ricky Rocket quite well from Poison. Whenever he's through Philly, he always gives me a shout, and we've met up for dinner a couple times.
Well, speaking of Britny, what's going on with them?
Not anything at this point in time. We had a brief reunion of sorts with a couple of myself and Billy Childs being the two original members, and our singer from the third album on was Tommy Paris. We got together about 2-3 years ago and started to play some gigs with the hopes of doing a record, you know, and basically, like, we got back together and just realized that we can't get along for shit, so we just basically stopped proceeding forward, and that is something that's kind of happened with that band so many times, and so, you know, it's a drag for me to, you know, because it's really been a big part of my life and career, and the fact that, you know, a lot of people like you ask all the time, but it's like, for some reason, we just can't get out of our own way. And unfortunately, we're back down to non-existent at this time. So I'm always hopeful that something will come back around, you know. I just tend to put my energies into other things that, you know, give me something back rather than become, you know, too hard to, you know, work at.
I hear. I always tell people never say never. Cause you never say never, because you never know if it's going to happen. I've been hoping for several bands, such as the great band that you were in, to do it with all you guys, you know. And I could tell by your attitude, it's not really you would do it because you look how much time you invested in that band, and look what you did, and look what it's impacted. It impacted my life considerably. I've loved all your recordings that you did with the band, and it's not just me saying that. Oh, no problem. And other people tell me because like I said, I did play quite a few Britney songs and everything on several of my episodes, and when I was on terrestrial radio, when I did fill in on satellite radio and stuff like that, people were like, wow, you know, and people ask, and like I said, I hate to beat a dead horse, but people miss you guys, and people like,
I know,
and you know,
I hear it, you know, I hear it from you, just like from other people, and I saw the reactions from, you know, the gigs that we did do. And I see posts on social media all the time about, and look, I'm a fan as well, you know. I mean, I've always been a fan, and the bands that I'm passionate about, like, you know, even from my childhood, sometimes it pains me to see the bullshit that goes down, that people can't get along, or bands have to change original members because this guy hates that one, or this one doesn't want to tour anymore. You know, and it's really unfortunate because it's just fucking music, man. Just like, you know, if you can't get along to get up on stage and play music in front of people that actually smile and love to hear what you're doing. Like, there's something wrong there, you know?
Absolutely.
I just don't understand that. I know money is obviously a big factor, and people, you know, when money's involved, it just makes people lose their fucking shit, you know, and that sucks. But at the same time, you know, there's always a way to work around things, and there's always a way to communicate and work things out. And that's when I think when the communication breaks down,
right,
and people can't talk and work things out, then it becomes impossible. And that's kind of what happened with Britny, even from back in the day when Dean left. It was always a communication problem, or a difference of opinion, or this guy wants to, you know, be more important than the other guy. I mean, it's really just, there's so many levels of shit to deal with in bands, you know, and some bands get it right, and some bands just fail at it miserably, you know, and that's what it comes down to.
Well, I tell everybody, if you look up the definition of band, it means together.
Yep.
And that's what music's supposed to do. It's supposed to bring people together. That's why I solely purpose to do this, because this is my therapy. Music, you know, got me through so much negativity, and, you know, I had some health issues through my divorce, you know, and other breakups, and just shit that went down, and then it just brought me back up. And, you know, what you guys and so many other bands that are disbanded or go out there and it's not even one original member of the band, that kind of upsets me too. Because, you know, look, I've seen Kiss, and you're going to laugh. I've seen Kiss 703 times in concert. Okay? I've seen them in every...
Is that even possible?
Yeah.
How many shows have they played in there?
I've seen them in every state except Delaware, because there's no place to play in Delaware. There's no Coliseum, you know? And my first show was Eric Carr's first performance. And I was 6 years old. My dad took me to the Palladium, and it changed my life. A couple years before that, I was 4 years old. My mom and took my older brother and I, we went to go see Beatlemania, and it was too loud. Now I tell my kids, my girlfriend, and everybody, I said, well, if it's too loud, you're too old. You know, I'm always telling people, turn it up to 11. And maybe that's part of my hearing loss, but whatever. You know. But
Kiss was my first show as well as a kid.
Awesome.
I wasn't 6. I was more like 12 or 13. But, yeah, that was a big, you know, definitely a life changer for sure.
Absolutely. So, yeah, my father was very dear friends with Bill Aucoin. So that's how it all came to fruition. So.
That's amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. So you said you try to keep in touch with the guys from Saxon, Black Star Riders. That's a couple. That's like Scott Gorham's band, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. And then you also.
Yeah, I mean, I have you know, either crew friends or band friends, and you know, but it's really the toughest thing is schedule-wise. You know, like I'm playing gigs this weekend, and probably I'm able to make it to a few shows. I have a drum tech that's going to be in town with Nightwish tomorrow, and I can't really see him because I have a gig of my own.
Right.
So yeah, it's tough, man. But I try to keep in touch with folks and visit when I can. It's always cool, you know. And I always somehow just being at a gig, you know, being backstage or in the crowd or whatever, watching bands play, it just feels like home to me. So it's, even when I'm off, it's like you want to get that fix, you know, feel like you're part of something. But like you said, man, music is, you know, is everything for a lot of us. And it's our, you know, the soundtrack of our lives. And, you know, so when you get into all this kind of business stuff and you know, see bands on the outs with each other and stuff, it kind of, you know, you don't want it to ruin your musical memories, but somehow it does, you know. I think it taints that, and so I like to see bands that keep it together, keep making music, will dig it, why not give them what they want,
100% agree. So, is there one band that you would love to see reunite and then say, okay, like tip? I personally thought Motley Crue did the right way. They did it, they ran on top. They all put their differences aside and say, look, we're doing it for the fans, but we're also doing it for a shit ton of money, and we're going to go out, play a ton of shows, and then we're done, and we wrote a contract to say we're never going to play as Motley Crue again, and they went on top. And I thought they did it really, really well, So,
yeah, it's definitely one way to do it, instead of being, like, hey, we're going to be, the farewell tour and to start a whole new, cycle of touring or whatever. I mean, it does get to be old after a while, and it's like it becomes a whole different thing. But yeah, that was, admirable of them to do it that way. As far as for me, personal kind of reunion type things, I mean, one band I was into was the band Angel, and I know they had sort of been trying forever to reunite original members and do some gigs, and it still hasn't happened. But you also realize what it would take to make that happen, especially for a band. It's easy for Motley Crue to say we're going to reunite for one more tour because they're still kind of
younger
in everybody's minds and a bit younger, and they could do a tour and people will show up. A band like Angel were never really that big to begin with, but there were so many people that were taken in and like impressed with them because of it, just seeing them a few times in the show that they put on and stuff like that. So that's just one off the top of my head that would be cool, but I know it's would be impossible for them to really.
Well, did you ever get to see them?
Even do a full tour. I did, yeah. And that's probably why I'm a fan. I think anybody that ever saw them is probably still a fan to this day because they were a band like Kiss. They put on, a ridiculously great show. They were killer musicians. They had a great look. They had a great sound. It was a bombastic, type of entertaining theatrical show.
Right.
Some magic on stage and stuff. I mean, it was really cool, but so many bands.
I've only seen YouTube videos. I've never seen them live. I've seen like Punky Meadows perform, and he's a hell of a guitarist. I've seen Frank sing. I saw Griffuria and everything like that. I met Greg years ago because he worked with Gene, and and coincidentally they were on Casablanca. So and I met them, but I was too young to see them. But I met them because my father's relationship. He was good friends, like I said, with Bill Aucoin. He introduced me to them, like. I think I was like 4 or 5, and I had no clue who they were. I just see these guys, long flowing hair and these like white costumes and everything, and they shook my hand, and they said, "Nice to meet you, Steven." I'm like, "It's Steve. Nice to meet you too, sir." And that was basically it,
Yeah.
So, right on. So, all right. Another question. What's next for you? As far as are you doing anything that you want to promote? Are you writing anything? Are you coming? You said you like to cook. Are we going to have like a Johnny D? Do you call it sauce or gravy or ragu?
I call it gravy or sauce. I mean, if it's got meat in it, I tend to call it gravy. If it's just like, a marinara sauce or something without meat, I'd say sauce, but, it's all good. I love pasta. I should probably put out a couple recipes or whatever, but I haven't, because I'm traveling a lot, I haven't been home to cook a lot, and that's kind of bumming me out. But as far as projects go, I'm just going to continue to play gigs with the bands that I'm in. The Kick, the NXS Experience thing is really fun. Bunch of cool guys, and that's another band that kind of went away probably, before its time, obviously, because of losing Michael Hutchins. And so we're, trying to keep that music alive and having fun doing that. I also am working on I'm not as much of a songwriter as, I probably should be, but I do I'm working on a tribute CD of sorts to, fallen heroes, as you will, the Lemmys and Bowies and all the guys that we've lost over the years. I'd like to put out a CD of some of my favorite cover songs from some of the artists that aren't with us anymore, and I've got about 6 tracks recorded. I'm just going to keep working on that.
Could you divulge who's on it with you?
What's that?
Could you tell me, could we know, who you recorded with on it?
Well, I've started out with just drums. I'm kind of building it from there, and I'm going to ask, as many of my friends and as many, people, main musicians that I can get to actually add to it. So it's going to be like a good gravy, you know what I mean?
That's
I'm going to
awesome.
start the sauce, and I'm going to add some ingredients as I go. But it's probably the way that, if I'm going to do a project, it's starting in the way that I can make it happen, which is from the drums, from the foundation.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Cool. So for up-and-coming drummers, because that's the instrument my little monster Jack wants to learn, and I told him that'd be great because it would drive his mother crazy. And I also have, I have a cousin that's in a pretty well-known band. He just went to Europe with his band. He's in a band called Midnight Eternal, and he's a drummer. He did direct support last year with Queensryche and Armored Saint.
Cool.
Yeah, which was great for him. I'm very, very proud of him. And I was just like, so do you have any advice for any up-and-coming drummers?
I'm pretty much entirely self-taught, so I would say definitely learn as much, of the skill as possible. It's probably one of the regrets that I have that I didn't start out and take, lessons more seriously. I was kind of impatient and just wanted to fucking rock out, so I went completely, caveman style and learned on my own, and in a way that's good.
Right.
I think you develop your own style, but you may also develop a lot of bad techniques or, things that probably I could do a lot easier if I knew, the proper way to do it. But, at this point, I would say for anybody coming up would be, just to get as much knowledge as possible and to play as much as possible with other musicians. You got this whole YouTube generation now that, just makes videos playing along to records or whatever, which is fine, but get in a real situation, where live music is, improvising a little bit or just paying more attention to what's going on around you, interaction with other musicians and stuff. I think the School of Rock and those type of places are cool because kids get to really learn organically, how to interact, and
right.
And they also pick up different instruments, and they're able to jump from the drums to the vocals or grab a guitar, and that's really cool. It's something we didn't have when I was growing up, and
Same here.
I had to learn the hard way. So just get in there, do it all as much as possible, be cool, with people,
Nice.
have good interactions, learn how to communicate with people, and because, the playing part of it is just a part of it, there's so much more, like we're talking about, interacting with people and being able to communicate and learning the parts of the business where, you won't hit a brick wall when you get a band that sells, 1 million albums, and then you realize you don't fucking like the guy you're even in a band with, so maybe dealing with those issues before you actually get to that point is probably a good idea that could further you along,
Exactly. So has there been a song that you've performed, like if you heard it on the radio or if you played it live, that you're sick of? That you're like, oh shit, I really have to play this song again, or I just heard it on the radio and you'll change the channel, or,
Right. Do you mean of my own, or just of like a cover song or anything?
Either or both.
As far as anything I've played on or been, fortunate enough to have played on the radio or MTV or anything like that, not really. I don't think it's like, with a song like Girls' School, for example, if that was like the biggest song that I played on, really didn't play it enough to really get sick of it, you know what I mean? That song was recorded like 30 years ago, but it's not like I've been playing it every day for the last 30 years. So
sure.
When I did get to play it again, it always was like fucking fun, So probably don't have any that I'm really sick of, unless I do a cover gig and I have to play like American Girl or something. One of the the way overdone cover songs of like Sweet Home Alabama or whatever it may be. Those can get pretty tiresome, but
I started doing when I was a kid, I was a DJ for like weddings and bar mitzvahs. I would tell them, I'm like, in my rider I cannot play Kool and the Gang Celebration again, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm sorry,
you're fired.
Exactly.
The next guy who will do it.
Yeah, I'm like, I love my New Jersey based bands because I am a Jersey boy, but come on, Celebration, how many times can you hear it?
Yeah, man.
So,
gotta give the people what they want.
Absolutely. I've learned the hard way.
Yeah.
All right. So, is there a website that you can plug that you want to throw out there that people can reach out to you? If people, like, You Are the Real Deal, for example, because I've talked about it previous and everything. There's so many social media as far as in fake accounts. There's people that have a Twitter, an Instagram, and a Facebook, and a lot of them could either be the real deal or bullshit. And I know that you're the real deal because I've seen your posts because I follow you on all three. Do you actually have like an actual website? Or do you mind?
My website points to my Facebook page at this point because it's just really, most people don't really have the attention span to go looking all around. They're either on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram. So those three, I pretty much have most of my posts going on, or updates of what gigs I had and stuff like that. If you wanted to see where Doro was playing, you could go to Doro, doromusic.com, I think, or doro.de.
Right.
And find the Doro tour dates and stuff like that, updates on that particular band. But I try to update whatever.
Cool. So, like, if anyone contacts you on social media, you won't, like, freak out or anything like that, and you'll respond if someone, like, sends you a message and say...
I try to, I gotta say, it's pretty overwhelming to get hammered, with messages, like, by text, email, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, but at the end of the day, it's not like... if I can keep up with it and it's a legitimate request or just somebody saying hi or whatever, I try to answer and, be as polite as possible. And if, like with you, it's cool that you reached out and wanted to do this. And I'm willing because I basically have some time right now, and that's cool that you wanted to talk.
Right.
So,
well, I don't just appreciate it. Like I said before, everybody that knows you and knows your music appreciates it. And like I said, we do have a lot of the same friends in the circle. Even the music business is so huge. New York, New Jersey, Philly area, all kind of intercede and everything with each other. And, that's what it's all about. It's just, having a good time and enjoying ourselves. It's
yeah, man.
put the guns away and just put your hand up and shout and throw up the horns and smile, and that's what it's all about.
Yeah, it is. And there's so much going on out there. It's hard to really keep track of it all. It's not like when we grew up. There was, you had a few local radio stations and maybe MTV to really keep you in the loop of what was happening. Now it's basically 24/7, 365, every angle you can coming at you from everywhere. So it's hard for us to all join in and onto one common thing, So it's really, it's great, but it's also like a bit of an overload. So, but it's cool that you can go to one place if you need to look up some band that you're really into, where to go to find them, and that's all good. But like you said, spreading the word, keeping the music alive, and
right.
And connecting with people in a different way. Might not be face to face, but if you're chatting with people that are like-minded or into the same stuff that you are, it still brings a sense of a community, that you're not so alone out there, in this crazy-ass fucking world.
Absolutely. So,
right
on. Thank you so much again, Johnny. And like I said, keep in touch.
All right, Steve. Thank you.
My pleasure. Have a good night and take care, all right?
All right, dude. I'll
Thanks.
talk to you soon.
You got it, man. Take care.